Hey, what's up guys? In this video we're going to talk about improving your kick drum speed. Now this isn't something that I thought to make necessarily because I don't consider myself to have like a crazy fast foot. You may have a faster foot than I do. If you do, shut up, stop watching this video, go make your own, and then share it with me so I can learn. But no, I want to talk a little bit about just speed, just increasing your kick drum speed through technique, some exercises to help you kind of develop a little bit, and what I do to try to, get my foot a little bit faster, a little bit more dynamic. So the first thing is kick technique. So the way that I consider this is I try to get the simplest and most effective way to produce, doubles or two hits at one time. I don't play it with a double kick. Most people in my context, I play, church music. I play at church. So it's gospel, it's contemporary, kind of, rock and fusion type stuff sometimes. So for me, 99% of the time, I would never need a double kick. Most people that I see using it in a church context are using it as like a cheat code or a crutch just to play doubles they could play with a single kick. But I want to talk about kick technique a little bit. Now, there's tons of resources on YouTube. There's tons of great stuff and people that can articulate this way better, so go find those if you want to. But I want to talk about the way that I kind of view the kick if I'm trying to play doubles. So what I basically try to do is I'm using two motions. So the first motion that I'm using when I'm playing the kick is I'm kind of dropping my leg, right? So the first kick, if you will, is kind of engaging my leg. I'm going to drop my foot down onto the pedal. Now, so actually, let me rewind a little bit. I play heel up, so my heel doesn't rest completely with the weight on the pedal board. Now, it does sometimes kind of lay there, but the idea is I don't want to use my heel as my, my angle to pivot to strike the pedal, to strike the kick. What I use the ball of my foot is where the pressure is going to come from. So for me, easy way I like to think about it is if I'm playing heel down, resting my weight on my heel, all I have is one motion. I only got one thing to use to engage my foot. So I'm limited to that one thing, where if I use the ball of my foot, I raise my leg, now I've got my whole leg engaged. I've got a lot of options. So back to kind of the way I strike the kick. So my first stroke is going to be kind of a pressing down with my leg, if you will, kind of dropping that first hit. Now my second one is kind of a tap, engaging my ankle a little more. You'll see this explained as like a tap and slide. Some people like to, talk about those two motions, but for me it's basically just like a drop, and then I engage my ankle then and kind of tap with the ball of my foot a little bit more. So both those strokes really slow is. So again, you see I kind of use, the first stroke is a drop of my leg. The second stroke is more of a tap on my ankle. So a little bit faster. So again, what I like to think is I'm using kind of one motion to get two hits, in the sense that I'm not bringing my leg up and down, boom, boom. It's kind of a drop and a tap. You kind of compare it to like the molar technique, where you're using the natural flow of your arm to, create these different strikes. Kind of same deal. I want to get kind of this up and down with my leg to kind of create two strokes. So let me play just a little bit and you can kind of see what I'm talking about. All right, so you see kind of those two strokes happening, right? Boom, boom. So that's just a kind of a peer into kick technique. So play with that. You may have a variation on that. My thing is whatever's comfortable for you is what's going to work. So, but that's kind of a general idea. Okay, so some kick exercises. The first one, maybe the obvious one or the easiest one, is to play, doubles back and forth. So what this does is it's just going to work on your raw speed, right? Just kind of getting that speed, getting those doubles up. So you can play, kick, kick, right, left, or I like to play kick, kick, right, right, kick, kick, right, right, kick, kick, right, left. So basically just an exercise where you start playing, two kick to two hands. The goal with this is not just speed, but consistency, evenness, and also velocity of the strike. You want it to both strokes to sound the same. You don't want boom, 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 you know, which we all do that somewhat, you know, some you'll hear it maybe a little bit with me, but I want both strokes to be as even as possible. So again, we're going to start slow. You want to go as fast as you can while still maintaining the evenness, consistency, and then kind of hold that and then move up from there. So again, if I'm doing it, you know, kick to snare, it would sound like this. Okay, so that's a good exercise, right? I turn it into like a groove. Kind of a Mike Johnston-esque kind of thing. So there's that. So that's covers kind of technique, an overview of technique, and then kind of a way just to work on just sheer speed. So the third thing is kind of placement, right? Where to put it. So with any part of drums, there's a you know, a physical aspect to it, just being able to play at the sheer speed. But there's also a mental aspect of it. So you've got this mind to muscle connection, right? So just because you can play doubles all day long doesn't mean you can place it in the, you know, in the measure. So kind of a great introductory way to think about this. You want to create more limb independence is another way to think of it. Is an exercise where you'll play 2 strokes throughout a measure and you'll shift them. So we're going to start with just 8th notes. Right, so 8th notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play 2 kick on 1 and that's all, right? So this is the first part. So play 2 kick on 1 and. So all right, so I would do that and then I would shift it over 1/8 notes. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, right? So I'm gonna take those 2 8th note strokes and shift them over. All right, and so on and so forth. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, then I would do the same thing with 16th notes. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E. Except with 16 notes, I may do it on 1 and 3 as my starting point, play that till I'm comfortable, and then shift all those over. So the idea is I want to be comfortable placing and thinking about putting kick notes anywhere in a measure and be able to call it up. So if I want to say, I want to place it on the E of 3, right? So 1E and a 2E and a 3E. I want to know what that feels like, how that's going to be. So let me just show you an example of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play starting on 1E, 3E, and I'm going to play that a couple times, and then I'm going to shift those notes over 1/16th note, and so on and so forth. So here we go. So that'd be. All right, so you get the idea. So that's a slow version of that, but you speed that up and then you move that around. So that is in no way a comprehensive look at how to increase your kick speed, but that's just a really just kind of a tip of the iceberg of what you can do. So again, we covered technique, right? So kind of engaging, you know, kind of 2 strokes out of 1 overall motion, right? You don't want to just recreate 1 motion and stick to that like from your here, like bap, 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 or you don't want to, you know, try to stomp on your leg the whole time. I'm trying to, you know, develop a series of motions in this overall up and down motion of, right? That'll kind of help do that. So, you know, technique, speed, just playing, you know, doubles, and then also kind of placement, independence, being able to think about it. So the last thing is to find people that inspire you, listen to them, study what they're doing, and, you know, replicate and listen to that. So for me, a pivotal person and like kick pattern that was great and really pressed my ability at the time was Chris Coleman playing Our Father for BJ Putnam. So go check it out, but it's got this bridge pattern, so kind of slow. It's something like this. Right, but full tempo, it's like. That may not be exactly it, but man, that pattern, it was just the right amount of doubles, man. I was like, what is that? It's so frustrating. But by being inspired, that'll press you beyond maybe what you think you can do to really achieve it. So I would love to hear what you think, what people that inspire you. So man, drop a comment here below. Let me know some drummers that you think are just sick and have great fast feet. That way we can all kind of learn from each other. Maybe post a song or an artist or something that really inspires you. And so that way you can share with us. So man, thanks for watching. Hope this helped a little bit. If you have any questions, please drop them. If I can answer it, I'll do so. If I can't, man, shoot me an email or something lengthier and I'll try to respond if I can or make a video. I hope this video was helpful, man. Give it a like if you thought it was cool. Even if you didn't, man, just give it a like just because. Share this video if there's someone that you feel like would benefit from this, maybe a beginning drummer, someone at your church, or just a friend plays drums. Man, share this with them. I'd love to share the resource. Also, if you haven't already, subscribe. I'd love for you to follow along. You get updated as new content drops. Man, I appreciate that. If you have any questions about any of the gear I'm using, I've gotten a lot of comments on this kit. I just did a little vlog about it, but I'm recording in the sanctuary right now just because it's easier now that we're out of the cage. But I've got links to all the different microphones that I'm using in this kit. Some of my favorite microphones, this little lapel mic I'm using, cameras, lights, all that stuff. I've got it linked below. Man, check that out. Also, hey, I got this shirt from Fearless. Check them out on Instagram. I'll post a link to them, but Pray, Hustle, Succeed. I thought that was pretty dope. They sent me the shirt, so man, thanks to the guys over at Fearless for the shirts. This is one of them, really appreciate it. I've always thought it was kind of funny, never really thought about doing this, but if you feel like your product or your brand would benefit from being shared on this platform on my channel, man, send me something. I'll talk about it on my channel. I've never done that really before because I thought it was kind of pretentious, I guess, and I don't think I'm that famous that you would benefit from me talking about whatever it is you have. But if you got some drum stuff or you got some clothing or whatever you do, whatever your thing is, man, if I can help you promote it, let me know. Send it to me. I'll put an address you can send some stuff to below as well, if you so choose to do so, as a couple people have. So, but I'm rambling at this point. That's the end of the video. Thanks. Again, if there's anything else you guys want to see, any specific lessons, just comment below. I'll do everything I can to respond to every single comment on this video, and we'll see you guys in the next one.